Here we go. It's that time of the month again, the Austin real estate market update. Let's go. Okay, so we're jumping in on the Austin, Texas real estate market update. Now we're looking at Austin Board of Realtors numbers. Now they come out monthly, and some of you guys have heard me talk about this before, that they indicate trends year over year. So if you're looking at this report via the email, you'll see the numbers and you'll see the little yellow arrows, and those are annual trends. But the reason why I do these videos is because we got to keep track on what's happening month to month, because things are changing dramatically. There's volatility in the market. Now look, I work with investors, I work with first-time home buyers, I work with people that need to sell and people who need to buy, people that are looking to take action now. And so this market report is to understand what's going on. Should I buy right now? Should I sell right now? And so today's video, we're gonna take a look at the numbers, do a little deep dive, talk about whether you should take action right now at the end of this video, so stick around. All right, let's jump into ABOR numbers on Travis County. So Travis County, since the beginning of the year, is looking at $478,000 median sales price in January 2024 this year. July numbers, I'm looking at my wall of fame here. I have all the numbers month by month, $525,000. So look, we're plus $47,000 since the beginning of the year. And so that's a pretty healthy number upwards on value. Now look, month over month, June to July, 525. So we've tapered off and we're kind of evening out in June, July. Now what's interesting is that April, May, we went upwards, 540, 555,000, April and May, and then June dipped back down to 525, July. So we did this in April and May, and then June, July, we came back down. So interesting that happened in summer months, not normal. Total homes on market, all structures available in Austin Board of Realtors, which spans as high as Killeen and as far down south as New Braunfels, is that 15,000 homes on the market. That's a 5 or 6 month supply depending on what area that you're in. So it was interesting to see numbers get that high. We haven't seen them that high in a while. So was it a good time to put your property on the market this summer? Depends, because we're talking about macro numbers here, and these neighborhoods can go micro level on the inventory. How many homes are on market? How long are properties sitting on market? And so if you're interested to sell your home, you need to have a conversation with a professional to figure out what's going on in my neighborhood, because we're talking bigger overall numbers here. And look, it just took longer to sell properties. 60 days, average days on market. That's down tremendously from 85 days on market beginning of the year in Travis County. It's up 8 days year over year. See, so kind of tricky. You take a look at the annual days, annual trends, and it's up a little bit, but we're down dramatically from the beginning of the year. Now look, 60 days on market is a little longer than we'd like to see. However, this takes into account properties that didn't sell initially and had to adjust their prices. And so we know that when properties are priced right, pretty statistically, we can see very clearly that when properties are priced right, they get offers within 30 days. So look, you shouldn't be having to sit on the market 2 or 3 or 4 months unless you tried to start high and then you sit on the market. Now, new listings were down 400 homes, active listings were down 400 homes. So we're seeing less people come to market, less people on the market, and pending sales stayed about even. So where'd the homes go? Well, they sold, or they expired, or they withdrew. So meaning these properties had a term contract for 3 months or 6 months or whatever it was, and they were on the market, and then they pulled themselves from the market. Their contract expired to sell 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and then they didn't put their property back on the market. And so we're seeing that. We're seeing 70% increase in expired withdrawn listings since the beginning of the year. Around 1,100 homes at the beginning of the year expired per month, compared to July numbers, almost 2,000 homes expired withdrawn in 1 month, over 50 homes a day expiring or withdrawing. So what's happening? People are realizing that it's not a good time to sell. Now we're in the beginning of August here. We're in the middle of August actually, and the numbers come out for July mid-month, as I say every month. And so so we're getting an indicator of what was happening last month in July. And look, we're going into the fall months, and fall months traditionally are slower. Properties begin to come off the market. That's what we're seeing right here, right? And with the holidays upcoming, we're going to see a further slowdown of properties selling. However, if you're a seller, okay, let's talk about this just for a second, then there's a little window here of opportunity for you to sell your home in August to mid-August to late October. There's a nice little 45 to 60 day window in there for you to still score and be able to sell your property. Now look, marketing, pricing, that's everything right now. And I'm gonna give you a strategy that we're using to produce multiple offers in the first week you're on the market. Dozens of showings, something that no other realtors are using out there. I'm gonna share that with you at the end if you're interested to sell your property and get results fast. Okay, let's look at Williamson County since the beginning of the year, $429,000 for the median sales price point. And for Williamson County, July 2024, $428,500. Look, we've literally remained even now. Now, what's interesting is January, February, we kind of hung where it was in the first quarter. The second quarter, we nudged upwards and then back downwards in July. And so we've just kind of done this in Williamson County, a lot different than Travis County, up almost 50 grand since the beginning of the year. And so Williamson County, not as condensed, not as urban. And so that sprawl of land creates a little less demand and a little less volatility in the market. That's a good thing, I think. And with a median price point of $428,000, pretty high for people who've been there for 20 or 30 years, but overall in the relative scheme of what's going on in Central Texas, a lot more affordable. All right, so new listings, about the same. Active listings, about the same since last month, June. Now we're down 5,000. Median price point in June for Williamson County, $434,000 compared to $428,500 for the month of July. So we're down about $5,000 month over month. And that's about a 1% decrease. Not great, not fantastic, but less people are coming to market, less properties on the market. There's 15,000 homes on the market. That's a 4 or 5 month supply for Williamson County. And look, we haven't seen those numbers in a while in regards to inventory, but look, properties are still selling. We still sold 3,200 homes in the month of July overall in Central Texas. That's a pretty good number compared to markets that are not as active. 62 days on market for average days on market for Williamson County. Now, as I mentioned with the Travis County numbers, 62 days takes into account a lot of properties that were overpriced and had to reduce their price. And if you're priced right, you should be receiving an offer within 30 days. And if you're overpriced and you get to a price point buyers like, you'll get an offer within 30 days. All right, so pricing and strategy to be able to create more showings because people are getting, if you're priced right, 3 to 5 showings a week. I'm gonna share at the end of the video a way to get dozens of showings in week 1 where we've used this new strategy to be able to get results fast and have buyers make offers at market value. Okay. Pending sales are about even. We talked about new listings and active listings. Average close to list price in Williamson County, 94.6%, meaning that how close did the sell price come to the asking price? 94.6% to close price to list price for Williamson County. So there's a good almost 6% of deviation on what buyers are paying versus what the seller was asking. So is there opportunity? Yes. Is there concessions being made by sellers? Yes. So I'll jump into our next category, which is should I buy or sell right now? Well, look, should I buy or sell right now in Austin, Texas? If you're a buyer and you can afford it because interest rates in the last couple weeks have come downwards as low as the low 6s. They're hanging around the mid 6s. The Feds are meeting in a couple weeks. Expectations are that the interest rates should continue to nudge downwards. Unemployment's still pretty good, under 4.3s, and the GDP and the overall economy doing pretty good. So we can see, we anticipate there's going to be some movement on interest rates, but look, don't anticipate that there's going to be this slide back to 3%. If you've been around a while like me, some of you millennials and young Zers, that's not going to happen right now, right? We were at that point because the economy was bad and the Feds were trying to provoke in an artificial way what was going on with the interest rates. And so don't expect that. We're at a pretty good interest rate historically. I get it, the price points are higher. I get it, there's inflation. But look, we saw this when the interest rates came down the last couple of weeks. Market activity picked up. So is it a good time to buy right now? Depends on if it makes sense for you financially, and to be particular with good deals, because there's two types of properties that are selling right now. Properties that are priced well under market because they don't have as many features and benefits, and properties that have lots of updates and upgrades and priced accordingly to what has recently sold, not tremendously over what has recently sold. Those are the properties that are getting showings. Those are the properties that are selling. And so I'll get to this in a second with sellers, but for buyers, being particular about which properties you're looking at and understanding their position in regards to how long have they been on the market, what's the seller's position in regards to motivation, and consulting with a professional who understands the negotiation process and how to extract more information to figure out what's our best position. Do we have to come in a little bit over? Would we have to come in at, or is there an opportunity to come in below market value? And because every property is different, there's different opportunities out there for everyone. We're moving into the fall and winter months, so I anticipate more opportunities as the interest rates may slide a bit more. And hey, if that does happen, then there's going to be more buyers coming off the fence to be able to go and find good deals, because those interest rates come down, and if there's more demand and supply begins to come down, as it traditionally does in the fall and winter months, it could get a little bit more competitive. Demand could go a little bit to drive a little bit further. And so timing the market is never a good thing. If you're sitting there and you're a buyer or a seller and you're trying to figure out how to time the market, hey, there's a lot more people, a lot smarter than both of us, who try to do that and they still lose. All right, so don't try to time the market. Figure out whether it makes sense for you or not. Figure out whether you think it's a good deal or not. And if you're going to live in a property for at least 3 years, 5 to 7 years plus, look, it's going to be a fantastic investment for Central Texas. But for you to try to time the market, I've seen more people lose money trying to figure that out in a tremendous fashion than actually get it right. Even the pros have a tough time doing that and can't do it, so don't start. Okay, so should I sell my property right now in Central Texas? Well, there's two answers. The first answer is no. You shouldn't be selling if you don't have to. You got to be a 9 or a 10 on the scale of 10 is I have to sell, 9 is I don't have to sell, but I really want to sell. And so those are the two types of categories that you should be in, because if you're just trying out the market, then look, you're going to be in for a disappointment, because buyers are being a little bit more particular, as we've talked about already. Buyers are sitting on the fence and not even showing up. So how do I get them to show up? All right, so I have a tactic, a strategy called the flash sale. And the flash sale is a strategy to be able to get dozens of buyers off the fence and to the property in week 1. Dozens, okay? And so we had a property off of Palmer near Apple. Property listed at $450,000, wasn't getting as much activity. I brought the flash sale strategy to these sellers, and we received multiple bids. We had almost 50 showings. We had 15 offers. Property sale price was $445,000 with a $10,000 credit towards the buyer's closing costs. However, I must note that I thought this property's true market value was somewhere closer to $400,000 based off the comparable properties recently sold below $450,000, based off of a current property that was in the neighborhood that showed much better than us on pictures in regards to updates or upgrades. And so our property got all the buyers to show up versus properties that were sitting there not having people show up, because that's the number one problem right now if you're a seller. Getting people to show up because of the apprehension, the anxiety that buyers have in this market. And so the flash sale strategy is a technique to drive buyers to your property and get results. So it's gonna do one of two things. Buyers are gonna show up en masse. Buyers are gonna make offers based off of what they think the market price value is. And I can get into details as far as how that strategy might work for you, if you qualify for it, if it would make sense for you. But here's the deal. You want to be working with a professional on the sell side or the buy side who understands how to bring creative solutions to, instead of sitting on top of the market, driving the market, creating a market to make things happen. And the flash sale strategy is something that we do to produce results in spite of what other people are experiencing or not experiencing. So the answer number one was no, I shouldn't sell my home if I'm not truly motivated at a high level, because look, the second answer would be yes, I should sell my home if I'm just waiting out the season and maybe waiting until spring or after the new year. The worst thing would be, hey, I'm gonna wait until the new year. Wrong, bad move. You're gonna wait till the spring? Maybe, because we said that Williamson County experienced a reduction in median sales price. Travis County has been tapering off the last 2 months in the heart of the selling season. So could things taper off further in regards to activity and appreciation? Yes. Could they not? Yes. But it's definitely a roll of the dice. We're going into fall months. We're going into months where there's typically less activity. So if we did experience more depreciation and you started your process in January or February, could you have started in a process or in a period of time where you experienced more depreciation and you're even further down from when you were at the beginning of the fall or end of summer? Yes, likely, possibly. I can't tell you for sure, but if you have a crystal ball, I want to borrow it. And if you were to wait until spring, well, you know, we see typically a burst of appreciation in April and May specifically. We just saw that in Travis County, where we went from 510 to 540,000 in the month from March to April in 2024. So you could experience bigger chunks in April and May, and then wait towards May to June. That's probably your window right there, April, May, June, as far as the peak of the selling season, the streak of the selling season. So if you were gonna wait until next year, how much would you make up from what you lost in the fall and winter months? Well, look, that's the conundrum. That's the unknown. That's the X factor. And so this is what I'm telling people. You wanna wait until next year? So roll the dice. I used to live in Las Vegas and sell in Las Vegas. If you're gonna hold, I'd say hold at least 2 years. 2 to 3 years is a safer bet. So look, if you don't have to sell, then hold on for at least a couple of years, in my opinion. If you're gonna wait a year, so look, if you want to wait a year, wait 6 months, look, you might want to try to like move sooner, faster. The flash sale is an opportunity where we maximize showings, we maximize offers, and that could be something to get a result quickly, to be able to find out if you can get what you're looking for, because the next few months, I think there's going to be some more volatility. So if you're thinking of waiting a little while, then no, don't wait. Sell your property. If you're thinking that you can wait longer, then wait longer. Then don't sell your property. So depending on where you're at. Now look, there has been so much volatility the last 18 months in Central Texas. What's happening in the next 6 months and where we're going now. Remember, we're talking macro level for data. There's a ton of micro data for what's happening in your pocket of the world, and being able to understand what's important to you is important to us, because when we understand your vision, then it'll be our mission to get you what you want in the time you want it. Won't that be great? Hit us up for questions, comments, concerns. We look forward to our next conversation.